All right, guys, Ask a Felon back with another one. I'm gonna answer a question for that I got posted. It says, "Tell the full story of the closest day you ever had with the law." Closest call I ever had with the law. I'm gonna have to say it'd be a day that I was in a place at work. All right, I'll just get to the point. I was on the run. On the run, I couldn't find it. I didn't want to work nowhere that was legit, like a tax-paying job, because I figured it'd leave a paper trail. So what I did is I started a business with my brother-in-law. Had the business in his name. And what we did foreclosure homes. Well, it was like an REO service, is what they called it. You go in, rehabilitate, rehab, whatever you want to call it. You go in and basically you do preventative maintenance on foreclosure homes. Either you can go in and clean them out, you go in, change locks, lock the people out, you go in and fix the gutters, you might go and patch a roof, you might just go and mow the yard. So it was a good job. We was making real good money. I mean, $5,000 a job for a clean out, stuff like that. So it kept me going while I was out there on the run. Well, we happened to go to a house one day. It wasn't too far from my hometown actually, but just so you know, the jobs was never in, like, barely ever did you get one. Maybe one out of 50 would be in your hometown. The rest of them was just all over the state. So we would travel sometimes 3 hours to a job. Sometimes we'd travel an hour to a job. Sometimes it was 20 minutes down the road. Well, this job was maybe, I don't know, like 2 counties over. We're in this house, I'm in there. We got to change the lock. We got to put in bids for replacing the plumbing and replacing the flooring and all that. Well, my brother-in-law was like, "You want to drink some beer?" I'm like, "Hell with it. We're done. This is our last house. Yeah, go. You want to run over there and grab us some beer?" Because I didn't use my ID nowhere, nothing, because when you use your ID, people got to scan it. Nowadays, that's what they do. They scan the back of your barcode. So I don't trust none. I didn't trust none of that. When I was on the run, I was very, very, very cautious. I'm talking about if I got in your car, I ain't going with you. If your turn signal don't work, I'll walk. If your brake lights are out, I'll walk. Even if your license plate light was out, I'm good. I'll walk. I mean, that's how careful I was. Like I said, I didn't even use my ID at stores. Buying cigarettes, they scan the back of the ID. Nope. Hey, I need you to buy my cigarettes for me. So I always had somebody around. Like I said, the business was in his name, so it didn't have no paper trail back to me. So the reason I sent him over to get the alcohol was because I know they're going to scan the back of your ID. I didn't want no trail left of any place they think I might have been, or you know what I mean, just to be safe. So he goes over, he gets the beer, he comes back, which I think might have been the whole reason the cops even got called, but I'll get up to it. So we're sitting there, he comes back with the beer. We're drinking the beer, and these properties have lock boxes on the door. This way, like they'll say, the go to this house and change the door, the front door and the side door, but leave the back door original key. And then they'll have a code for a 4-digit lockbox. So the code would be 3806. You pop it open, and then there's a house key there to get in, so you got access. Well, after he goes and gets the beer, he comes back. We drink probably two of them. He just got a couple tall boys, Coors Light, tall boys. So I drank one of them. So I had alcohol on my breath. We both had alcohol on our breath, and one of us drove there, which later on I'll get to why that matters, because I thought the cops was going to watch us leave after what happened. Well, he comes back from getting it. We drink a couple of them. I'm sitting there. I'm in the other room, and he's in the living room. I'm in the other room taking pictures, because when you on them jobs, you have to go in and you got to take pictures of 4 pictures of each room. You got to take one from one side, the other, to where you can see the whole room, the whole house. So there's a lot of pictures to take. But I'm sitting there, and he don't say nothing to me, which I don't know if he's seen him before I did or what. But I heard something. Something told me to look out the window. I see a cop walking. Oh no, I didn't even see the cop. That's right. I just seen a white car. It was all white. Didn't have police on it. Didn't have sheriff on it. It was just an all white car pulled up in front of our truck. I was like, "What's that car doing there?" And he would. By the time he answered me, there was a cop standing at the back door. Because when you go in them houses, you leave the door. Usually, we leave the door open because we don't expect nobody to come, and we might have to carry some shit out of it or carry some shit in it. So I just left the doors open. Well, I'm at the front window and I'm looking at this car. And by the time I turn around and I'm asking, like, "What's that car doing out there?" I look up and there's a cop in uniform standing at the back door. And he was like, "Well, what are you guys doing here?" So I try to play it cool. I try not to act nervous or nothing like that. I'm like, we're here for a job. This is what we do. He's like, well, we had somebody call, said that there's some people in a house that's abandoned. I'm like, yeah, that's our job. We come to houses that the bank owns, and we come in and we do preventative maintenance in them. And he's like, all right, well, you guys go on and give me your names, and I'll run a check. If you got any way to prove that you're supposed to be here? I'm like, I got a work order on the phone. Now remember, the whole time I know I got a warrant out. I'm wanted right now. So I'm like, I got a work order on the phone. Yeah, I show it to him. I'm like, here's the work order. We're supposed to do this, 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 and this. Here's the address. Show it to him. He's like, all right, but anybody can pull one of them up, and anybody. We had these vests on, like neon vest, safety vest. And he's like, anybody can have them vests. Anybody can go to Walmart and buy those vests, and anybody can have an order on their phone. You could have made that. You could have had your girlfriend make that up for you. I'm like, all right, well, how do you expect me to prove this to you then? I'm supposed to be here. I know I'm supposed to be here. Like, I'm not lying to you. What would we be doing in an empty house? And he's like, all right, well, do you got a way to prove it to us? Do you know the code to that lock? I said, yeah, right there. Matter of fact, I said, if I wasn't supposed to be here, I wouldn't know the code to that lockbox right there. So he's like, all right, if you can open that lockbox, then I'll believe you guys are supposed to be here. So I'm like, all right. Of course, I'm going through the phone, nervous as hell, trying to fidgeting through it and everything, trying to find out, fuck, what's the code? Going through, trying a bunch of codes in front of him, and they ain't working. He's looking at me like, yeah, you're full of shit. Well, finally, I find the right code. I'm like, boom, right there. Said, open it up, showed the house keys that they fit inside the door. I'm like, see, we're supposed to be here. He's like, all right, well, go. I gotta have your guys' names for my report, so I'm gonna go ahead because cops gotta have that ID. That's like crack for them. They gotta have your ID. They always want your ID. I don't care what they stop you for, or if you're just with somebody they stop. They want that ID because it's like crack for them because they like to run people through the system and check for warrants. So I'm like, I ain't got no ID. He was like, oh, really, huh? What do you know your social number? I'm like, no, I ain't got my social number. I got my name and my date of birth I can give you. So I just make up a name off the top of my head. I'm like, such and such, blah, blah, blah. It's a date of birth, blah, blah, blah. He runs it, and he's like, have you ever been in trouble? I'm like, no, I ain't never been in no trouble. He's like, well, it's not finding you in the system. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. That's my name and it's my date of birth. He's like, yeah, well, the only thing that comes back is a guy who's like 6'7", and you're not 6'7". I'm like, no. I don't know. He's like, have you have a license? I'm like, yeah, I got a driver's license. He's like, well, it's not finding you in the system. I'm like, well, that's my info. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm like, for one, we ain't committing a crime. He's like, you're right. You ain't. He was like, now here comes another cop. It's a sheriff this time, sheriff's deputy. He pulls up in his sheriff's car and they're sitting there talking. They go outside and talk. And he comes back in. He's like, I'm just going to be honest with you. I think you gave me a fake name. I'm like, well, that's sorry you think that, but that's my info, man. He's like, yeah, I'm going to tell you the truth. I think you gave me a fake name. He's like, but there ain't a crime here, so there's nothing I can do about it. He's like, but next time you come in my town, you better have your ID with you. He was like, and don't think I don't know it's a fake name. He's like, but there ain't no crime being committed, so I can't do nothing. You all have a good day. So, I mean, you talk about scared to death. Like, I thought that was it right there. I'm telling my brother-in-law, I'm like, man, we got our paycheck coming on Monday. Make sure you bomb me out. Because when the cop went outside to talk to the sheriff deputy, I told him, I'm like, man, make sure you bomb me out. When my check comes, bomb my ass out. Well, when he comes back, that fucking cop was like, there ain't no crime committed, so I can't do nothing. He's like, but don't think I'm stupid. I know it's a fake name. I'm like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but so he gets in the car and leaves and shit. And then I'm telling my brother-in-law, I'm like, fuck, he's seen both of us drinking. He knows we're both drinking beer. I'm sure he smelled it on our fucking breath. Which one of us drove here? I drove there. But I told him, I think he had only drank like half his beer, only half of one beer by the time the cop came. So he was like, I'll drive since I ain't got no warner. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be the passenger. And if I have to, I'll refuse to show my fucking ID again. But anyway, we're thinking they're going to sit down the road and wait for us to leave. Because, like he said, there ain't no crime being committed, so I can't do nothing. So I'm thinking he was thinking there ain't no crime here. But when you motherfuckers pull off here, you've been drinking and I'll pull you over and then I'll get you. But we ended up leaving, and that never happened. Of course, we stayed for like another hour after he was there, trying to fucking wait it out. But we left, and they never fucking pulled us over, never bothered us again. So that was the closest I ever came. And he knew I was lying. He probably could tell by, I mean, I played it cool as fuck. Like I was, my brother-in-law even said, you was acting cool as fuck. You didn't act nervous. You was acting like you was legit. But they didn't bother us. They didn't pull us over like I thought they was going to. So yeah, that right there was the closest call I ever had while I was on the run. Like I was just like, it was just the last option I had. What can I do? I got to give him a fucking name, you know? So I just gave him a name, and like he said, I know it's a fake name, but there ain't a crime being committed, so I can't do nothing. But with that being said, guys, hopefully that answers your question for the closest call I had while I was on the run. But until the next one, make sure you hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. Once I reach 500 subscribers, I'm gonna go into some details about some pretty hairy situations and some pretty corrupt officials in my town. But I gotta wait till I get some more subscribers before I go into that. So till the next one, see you.